Okay, we're going to roll right now into our post-race for today's 65th annual Goodies Headache Relief Shot 500, powered by Kroger. And our third place finisher in today's race was Clint Bowyer. He drove the number 15 5-Hour Energy Toyota for Michael Waltrip Racing. And Clint, maybe just talk about the race out there today for you.
Tell us about it, Clint.
Yeah, it was too tight. Too tight. Pretty much, the whole race. We were really good in practice. I was, pretty optimistic going in the race, but I knew I was in trouble. First few laps on the track, I was just really, really bound up through the middle. I wish I was in as good a mood as he is. That was a good bullet dodge today for you, wasn't it?
No.
Whatever.
If you would have been driving, you would have won.
Well, I mean, we won't go there, but no. But I mean, proud of Patty and all the guys on the 5-Hour Energy Toyota, of course. But just this was one that I felt like after last few races here, we'd have a shot at winning.
Thank you, Clint. And Matt Kenseth came in second today, and he's the driver of the number $20 General Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And Matt, you and Jimmy are currently tied in the points race. You would get the tiebreaker based on your number of wins. But just, you were in here Friday talking about Martinsville, and this has got to be one of your maybe the best feelings you've had coming out of here. Obviously, you wanted to win, but can't feel too bad coming out here with a second-place finish.
Yeah, I mean, whenever your team puts you in front for that last run and you're out there leading, you get beat, you're always a little bit, disappointed. I just got beat by experience in a better driver at this track. So I was hesitant to change my line and do the things he was doing because what I was doing got me there and just got too tight at the end. Which I wish I could do it over. I just got slowed up with some lap cars and he got by me. But overall, it was a great day. I felt really optimistic coming in today. We had a great car in practice. It was up and down day with our strategy. That time we got behind. But overall, we had a really good car and, not as happy as Jeff, but happy to run second.
Now we'll start with Jenna. Go ahead, front row. Go ahead, Jenna, right there.
Jenna Fryer, AP. Such an idiot.
Did you forget your question, or
no,
what happened there?
Him. He knows what he did. What happened? I don't know. I don't know exactly what lap it was, but you were.
Well, this will be easy to answer.
You know what you did. You were on your radio, and you were on your radio. You were saying that I guess you didn't pit, and it's what got you stuck back there in the traffic, and you kept apologizing to your team. Let's address that first.
Well, when we got in the back, we were leading around second or something and had 3 or 4 cycle tires. And I felt I slipped the tires real bad a couple times on the previous restart. And that was when the 48 and that whole group pitted and we stayed out and we went all the way back to, half a straightaway ahead of the leader. We backed up so bad. So I just, it was Jason's call and it ended up really, everything worked really good, because we kept working on our car, got it better. But at the time I was like, man, I should have helped him more and told him that I slipped the tires and felt like it was going to go backwards. So that was that call, I think.
And then after the race ended, you never tell us these things, but I'm going to ask anyway. You said over your radio, you're like, man, I screwed us up today. I'll tell you about it later.
I was mostly just talking about me being hesitant to get off my line. I was running by the curb all day, and that's what got me there. And I never had enough breathing room on Jeff to move up and run the line, and a lot of them were on entry to run higher and then drive straighter off the corner. And I think at the end of the day that hurt me. I think it made the car too tight. At the 2/3 mark, I would just start sliding nose. And I think some of that is because I was hesitant to get off that line, but I just never had enough cushion on him to do it. And as soon as I'd move around a little bit, he would immediately gain 2 car lengths because it usually takes you a couple laps to figure out exactly where it is. And he was just always he was just always too close. I just never could really try it to see what the lap time difference was.
So all in all, you leave here second. You finish second.
Is this a conversation?
I know. Well, I can't finish my whole question. He just keeps. So you leave here second with a second place finish. You're tied atop the points at Jimmy's track. I mean, are you pleased with your day, even though you didn't win?
Is that the end of your question?
I'm
Yeah, I mean, gosh, for how Martinsville's been for me, how can you not be pleased? I mean, I think we led the most laps and finished second. So the only guy happier is Jeff. Again, you're always a little disappointed when your crew puts you out front at the end and you can't hold on. I always feel like that's on me because they put me there and gave me the shot. But overall, what a great weekend. I really felt like if we came out of here, in the lead or tied or close to it, I really felt like we got what it takes to race in the last 3 races. I feel like when my team is at its best and we do everything right, I feel like we can race anybody at these next 3 tracks. So I feel good about that. Anything can happen, but man, we're in it, and we're going to 3 really good tracks. So hopefully we can perform here the next 3 weeks and have a race.
Let's go to the front row here to Tom.
Well, somebody else gets a chance.
Am I done? Anybody got any questions for me? Damn.
Okay, we'll come up here in a minute. Go ahead. We'll go to Tom, and then we'll go to Mike, then we'll go to press box. Go ahead.
Matt, is it just down to you 2 guys now? I mean, I know Jeff won, but he's 26, 28 points now. Realistically, is it just the 2 of you? And I'm keeping it to 1 question.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything can happen. I got to be totally honest with you. I haven't looked at the points. Somebody told me Jimmy and I are tied. Other than that, I have no idea. I mean, I think if you're within a race, anything can happen. I think if you're more than a race behind multiple drivers, I think that makes it tough. I think if you're whatever you can get in a race, 48 points. If you're more than that, behind more than 1 driver, more than 2 drivers, I think that's hard to overcome with 3 races to go. But as we've seen through the years, anything can happen. You just never know what's going to happen.
Go over here to Mike. Go ahead.
Mike Neff from frontstretch.com. For Clint, before you get out of here, brother, I know you hate all these guys, so it probably doesn't matter, but when you're racing Matt there at the end.
I'm his favorite.
When you're racing Matt there at the end, does it cross your mind, hey, he's got a shot at the title, or are you just going for the second spot to get to it?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, I was pretty gingerly going in because I was been loose in, and I didn't want to drive it in any harder than I did getting into 3 because that 1 point didn't mean near as much as that, it could have cost him. But, fellow Toyota driver, we owe it to each other to do that. And, certainly, I mean, it wasn't for the win. If it was for the win, he'd probably got out of the way because I'm pretty hungry. But, that wasn't a big deal. Certainly on my mind, yeah.
We'll go to the press box. Questions up in the press box?
Yes. Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. For Clint and for Matt, the outside lane was so treacherous. It seemed like today that guys were playing games coming out of the pits. I think once, Clint, you appeared to stop like near the exit to try to make sure you were going to get the odd number so you could be on the inside for a restart. Could you guys both address that? It seemed like it was the inside was supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast here. I mean, we got jumbled up there going for the inside. The 48 was very, very aggressive for the point leader to be, dive bombing to the inside. I was all over the brakes to keep from running him over a couple times. But, I mean, that's how important it is, to get to the inside on these restarts. But it's not always that way. I mean, sometimes you can take advantage of somebody, maybe with the too low of air. It takes their tires to come in a little bit. They wash up, and if you can keep them pinched down, you can get around them. But you better get your business done, quick. If you don't, within 2 corners, you're in trouble because they're stacked up on the bottom.
Okay.
Was I supposed to answer that too?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah. I mean, insides I was better here. I didn't think the outside was any worse than usual, but I had a really, really good race car too. So the outside's, obviously never been the preferred groove here. I don't know if it was any worse than usual. It seemed like when they cleaned the track up, it was okay. If you had a real quick caution and the track wasn't clean, it was more difficult. And I can't count that high to see where I'm going to be coming off pit road, so I just get out of there as quick as I can.
Stay up in the press box. Go ahead, please.
Aaron McFarley with the Roanoke Times. Matt, you just kind of answered what I was going to ask you, but I guess I'll ask Clint. I mean, did it ever actually impact your strategy coming off pit road to try to get an odd number start on the inside?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, you know what I mean? I mean, rules are rules, but you got to take 100% advantage of all of them, and, that's certainly one of them.
Clint, this is your best finish of the chase, and I guess you moved up 2 spots in the standings to 6th. Considering the way you started the chase, you didn't get off to the way you had hoped. nice turnaround. Where would you like to be, I guess, when it ends?
You know, I've always had a goal of the top 5, and I guess I always have been, except for that year that, you know, we got in trouble there the first race or whatever a few years back. But you know, you take pride in being part of an elite group. Really, to be honest with you, the elite group is the chase. You know, but if you can be inside the top 5, usually, if you can run good enough to be inside the top 5, a lot of times you'll have some sort of a shot, you know, at a championship. But, you know, certainly not the chase that any of us, you know, was hoping for our team. But, I mean, it was, we did that to ourselves, you know what I mean? And we just got to make the most of the situation we're in. And certainly a good day like today, you know, does a lot towards that.
Any further questions? Final one over here, Mike.
You can go ahead and leave, Clint. This one's for Matt. Hey, Matt, coming into today, pretty much everybody was saying this is Jimmy's place and you need to minimize your point loss. But in the end, you gained points today. When you get home tonight, sitting in the living room when nobody else is around, are you kind of just give a big one-finger salute to all of us that we're counting that out and let us know that you're still in contention for this thing?
No, absolutely not. I do have to say, though, honestly, I felt like today was an opportunity. I thought today was an opportunity to, you know, to get our, you know, to get the point lead back. I honestly did. We just had a great day on Friday and Saturday, and I know Jimmy's always the man here, and he's still the man here. You know, along with Jeff and Denny for sure. That group is always lights out. But I really woke up this morning feeling like went to bed last night feeling like we had a chance to win a clock. So I know that sounds crazy because I haven't had that many good runs here, but we ran good in the spring. We were terrific at Loudon, which has always been probably my worst track, and this has probably been my second worst track. And Jason and the whole group at JGR just give us such great cars to drive. So I felt good about it. I mean, I can't tell you I knew we were going to finish or knew what we were going to do, but I felt like today we were going to have a shot to win. And I couldn't be much happier, but I am disappointed I got beat there. Then I wish I could have done something a little bit better. So obviously feel good about the weekend. I feel like we can go race them here in the next 3 weeks. You're welcome.
Any further questions? Kenny Bruce, final one.
Way to cut them all off, Kerry.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Your crew chief was mentioning something about a little bit of confusion on a pit stop at one point that he felt like was kind of hurt you guys a little bit. Do you recall the stop?
No. I mean, I don't know if he's talking about when we didn't pit that time. There was that one time, which I answered earlier, that we probably, you know, hindsight's 20/20. We probably should have pitted. We got so far behind, but it was funny. I saw Jason on pit road. I said, "Man, that's exactly how you plan the race, right? That was your strategy." He's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So it all worked out in the end. And certainly at the time, it didn't feel very good because we were way in the back, and we kept getting those little short runs, and we just couldn't. We could never get off cycle on tires to drive to the lead, and that took about 100 laps, you know, of our race away, kinda, to get back there. But in a way, it was okay. I think it made us work harder on our car. Certainly had to work hard to get to where we're at. No, I don't think there's any confusion. You wanted me to stay out, and we stayed out. I probably should have done a better job conveying what I thought of my rear tires at the time, and maybe would have made a different choice. But it all worked out in the end.
Matt, nice run here today. We'll see you at Texas.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, guys.